Hundreds of parents are fighting against the growing role of tech in schools. Families in Philadelphia, a suburb, pushing back on the local school board after the district ended its policy allowing students to opt out of using some classroom devices.
But no, your answer is to spend taxpayer money on more software that tech corporations have marketed to embed us deeper in a surveillance state, and more lawyers to build up a higher wall around you so you can sit there barely pretending to listen to the community.
Privacy risks, distractions, cyberbullying, mental health concerns, cognitive stunting, digital dementia, which is a scientific term now, loss of handwriting, loss of deep reading, inappropriate content, pornography, video games, growing digital wall between our amazing teachers, amazing educators, and the children.
Legitimate concerns from parents shared across the country. Nearly 800 parents in this case in the 8,000 student school district signed a petition against the end of this policy, but the board voted to end the policy despite their efforts, to the dismay of those parents.
Approve of the first reading of the proposed policy XXX K-12 technology use. The board directs administration to be guided by proposed new policy XXX. Okay.
This is an important issue, and that's why there is so much debate and pushback. Joining us now, one of the parents who voiced their concerns there that night, Jim Hausman. Jim, thank you for being here. This is not just in Pennsylvania. This is a conversation happening within households, at dinner tables, and in school districts across the country. Tell me what your personal struggle and thoughts have been around evolving technology at home and in the school.
Yeah, thank you for highlighting this very important issue of our time. As a parent, it's getting really hard to manage all this technology, the iPads, smart televisions, cell phones, and then the school hands them a Chromebook. And then we find out that our kids, through Google Apps and other methods, are accessing inappropriate content, and they're doing it in school, in the classroom, they're cyberbullying, everything that the clip before me just mentioned. And to me, this is the biggest issue of our time. You know, our children are growing up they can't talk to each other, they can't read, they can't write, they have no frustration tolerance. Everything has to be entertaining or else they're bored. And we really need to address this immediately.
And with teens in my house, I can also speak from experience. We tell them these things, at least I do, and I lay out the concerns I have and the risks involved, and they look at me like I'm crazy, and they don't see it. I just had this conversation with one of my kids last night. So what do you think, Jim, is the appropriate balance in offering our kids access to technology in schools, but also protecting them and addressing the concerns so many of us have?
Well, times have changed, the technology has changed, there's apps, the apps have changed, everything is more invasive. It was 10 years ago when the idea of putting Chromebooks in schools was to level the playing field and have everybody to have access. Those days it was about spreadsheets and word processing. Now these kids are smart. They have all these links to get around, and they're watching stuff that they shouldn't be watching, and the schools just can't keep up with what the kids are doing. So I am an advocate for no technology in school other than maybe a computer class, because there's so much at home that as parents it's a battle we're losing, and this is for our children's souls. We and the future of, honestly, in my opinion, civilization, because these kids can't look at each other in the eye. They're anxious. They're not going to form families because families. Life is challenging, and they have no frustration tolerance if they're not being entertained 24/7.
I don't disagree with you, and it does feel like the train has left the station, but that doesn't mean don't continue to fight. Jim Hausman, thank you for your time this morning and for your perspective. Appreciate you talking to us.
Thank you for having me.